god. Please be gentle on me.
Tadaima.
Jesus. Waiting to greet Rosa as she returned home all tired out was Maria in an unbelievably good mood holding Sakutarou. Most likely Rosa's worn out expression was partly because she was really tired, but partly because it would be a pain when Maria, who should have been grumbling after staying home alone for several days, would cling to her sobbing. However, when she was welcomed by an unbelievably happy Maria, and found that her fears were unbelievably needless, Rosa couldn't hide her surprise.
どうしたのマリア。とてもご機嫌ね。誰か来ているの?
It was strange enough to make Rosa think that her friend had come over and that she'd come home right when they were having a good time playing together. But there was no other shoes by the entrance. Even though Maria was in such high spirits, she had been home alone. At first, Rosa was suspicious that the cause of this unexpected good mood could be nothing good. But that was really a needless fear, and in any event, Maria really had been in a good mood while she watched over the house. Even if Rosa's heart had been as cold and hard as a rock, after being welcomed with a smile like this, that thing's, oh, so sweet. Rosa started to honestly accept that smile, and a smile rose to her face automatically. In that smile, you could no longer see any of the weariness of someone who had been unable to return home for several days. Maria kept talking about what a fun time she'd had playing with her stuffed animal Sakutarou. Rosa really hadn't imagined that a stuffed animal she herself had given would be so appreciated, and she couldn't hide her pleased smile. Surprise.
さあ、サクタロウと一緒に仲良くお留守番していたのね。偉いわマリア。そんな偉いマリアとサクタロウにお土産があるわよ。うりゃ、お土産、お土産。なんだろうね、なんだろうね。
Both Maria and Sakutarou started jumping around. There were two presents. One contained an assortment of Western sweets. Inside was a Scotch cake. It looked to be very high quality. But Maria was more interested in the other one. The other one was even a bigger box, and it was pretty heavy.
開けてごらん。マリアとサクタロウの新しいお友達になれるかもね。はあ、何これ？何これ？
Inside, laid there like chess pieces, were about 20 small ceramic figures shaped like animals. Squirrels, rabbits, small birds, dogs, cats, and they're all holding musical instruments. In addition to them, there's also a panorama-style background. The forest scene was drawn on it. The small forest animals were gathered in a plaza that looked like they were having a good time. Rosa set it up on the table, and there where she then lined up for the ceramic figures like chess pieces in front of it. It became a band of forest animals.
素敵でしょ？お店のショーウィンドウで見て一目惚れしちゃったの。これをいい子でお留守番してたマリアにプレゼントするわ。ありがとうママ。すごいねサクタロウ。お友達がこんなに増えちゃったね。サクタロウの言う通りだった。楽しく賑やかに過ごしてたらお友達が増えちゃうって本当だった。ね、言った通りでしょ。ほらね、お友達が増えた。ほらね、
Relieved that her gift had been appreciated, Rosa remembered that she had been filled with several days of weariness.
ママ、本当にお疲れ様。シャワー浴びてくるといいよ。あったかいの浴びるときっと疲れが取れるよ。湯船にする？マリアが今日は入浴剤を選んであげるね。ありがとう。でも、もう遅いから、マリアは寝る支度をなさい。ママも疲れたから、シャワーだけ浴びてすぐ寝るわ。明日も早いし。わかった。はいママ、コート脱がしてあげる。大丈夫だってば。ありがとう。ママのコート、お外の匂いがいっぱいする。ごめん、何か落とした。拾うね。
When she took Rosa's coat, a receipt or ticket stub or something fell out. It had been in Mama's pocket, so it was probably important. Maria hurriedly picked it up. It looked like a ticket for the green car or the Shinkansen or something? I don't... Yeah, or something right there. Atami? Wasn't that place famous for its hot springs? I don't know. Okay, at that moment, with the razor-sharp sound, the warm atmosphere shattered. Okay, you know what? I just want to die. Instead, Rosa had been there just a second ago, enjoying the gift with Maria, with her daughter, and recovering from her weariness with a long-awaited return. There stood a person who looked exactly the same, but who had a completely different, terrifying expression on her face. In her hand was the ticket stub that Maria had picked up. She had stolen it from Maria's hand in an instant, just a few seconds too late. By the pain of her hand that had been hit and her mother's expression, Maria realized that she must have done something wrong. But she didn't know what she had done that had gotten her in trouble. It was probably because of that ticket stub-like thing. Was she not supposed to touch it? Even though she had tried so hard to welcome Mama with fun and happiness, she had touched something important to Mama without asking, and had ruined that pleasant atmosphere. So Maria apologized immediately. I want to jump off a building already. Even though she must have heard those words of apology, Rosa's expression actually darkened. Maybe those weren't the words she had been hoping for. Maria didn't know what to do and stared at her mother's reaction. Then, even though it should have been such an important ticket stub, Rosa crushed up and hurried off to her room. Maria didn't really understand what she had done wrong.
Maria, きっと余計なことをしたんだね。あの紙はきっとママのお仕事の大切なものだったんだね。それに勝手に触っちゃったから。ウリュウ、マリアは悪くないよ。だから今夜だってこんなにも幸せ。幸せ。ママだってお風呂に入ってすっきりしたらいつもの優しいママに戻ってくれるよ。だから気にしちゃダメ。ウリュウ。そうだね。ママだって疲れてるんだもんね。気にしちゃダメだね。今夜だってマリアたちはこんなにも幸せ。ウリュウ。もうやめてよ。見てられない。エンジェは幸せの見つけ方が間違ってると思うよ。間違ってるのはお姉ちゃんでしょ。これのどこが幸せだってのよ。もう痛々しくて見てられない。何が？ママが急に怒り出したこと？人間疲れていればそういうこともあるものだよ。
Oh God, I heard.
一時の感情のすれ違いだけで相手を全否定するのってエンジは大人じゃないと思うよ。
Oh, my heart hurts so much right now.
9歳のマリアお姉ちゃんに言われるとはね。
She has a point. Angie is being a little childish right now. Not gonna lie.
でもそんなことじゃないでしょ。お姉ちゃんが拾ったあの半券明らかにおかしいじゃない。何が？何もおかしくないし今夜の幸せと何も関係ないよ。ローザおばさんは仕事で会社に泊まり込むって電話してきたんでしょ。なんで熱海？マリアお姉ちゃんを置き去りにして旅行に行ってたってことでしょ。しかも普通旅行って言ったら一人では。あれが仮に熱海行きの件だったとしても、だからってママが嘘をついて旅行に行った証拠にはならないよ。電話で嘘をついてあんなにも形相変えて奪い取って何よりの証拠じゃない。昔の仕事で出張した時のものかもしれないよ。あるいはゴミか何かをたまたまポケットに入れちゃっただけかも。
Can I just exit this memory, please? I don't want to be
部下
here.
の人が出張した時の領収書かもしれないね。
Oh my
だったら
God.
仕事の大切なものおもちゃじゃないんだからママが取り上げたのもうなずけるよ。エンジェの言う証拠なんて単なる状況証拠、想像と妄想。どうしてマリアとママの仲が悪くなるように解釈するのかわからないよ。
Because she clearly doesn't like Rosa.
どうしてお姉ちゃんがそこまでローザおばさんの都合がいいように解釈できるかの方がわからない。やっぱりエンジェはかわいそうな子。君を幸せにしてくれるかけらはこんなにもたくさん身の回りに落ちているのに、それをなのに不幸せなかけらばかり見つけてしまって傷つき続けている。だからエンジェは傷つくことに怯え、傷つけるものが身の回りにないかどうかそれを確かめ終わるまで幸せ探しすら始められない。お姉ちゃんと話をしてるとおかしいのがどっちかわからなくなってくるわ。 あのね、幸せのかけらも不幸せのかけらもどちらもいっぱいあって世界を満たしてるの。だから身近の幸せが見つけられない人はどこまで探しに行っても見つけられない。チルチルとミチルが青い鳥を探したみたいに。
そうね。そういう教訓の話だった。
エンジはその正反対。不幸せなかけらが全くない世界を探してる。でもそれだって青い鳥と同じなんだよ。だから永遠にエンジは自分の幸せを見つけられない。バトラはヘンゼルなの？青い鳥なんじゃないの？
もういい加減にして。いずれにせよ幸せな夜がコートから落ちた一枚の紙切れで台無しになったことはよくわかったわ。
And the night's technically not over.
怖いね。一枚の紙切れで。なら幸せを取り戻す力も一枚の紙切れに宿れるかもしれないよね。
I mean, I mean, it works both ways at that point. Just when she'd finally been able to communicate with Maria after so long, Rosa's face twisted with a mixture of anger, sadness, and a fierce self-hatred as she flew into her room and closed the door. Maria's sorry had sliced into her chest sharper than a knife. At that time, she noticed a cute envelope placed on her study table. It was probably something that had come with the girls' magazine. To Mama. Let me share my happiness with you, it said. She took it and after hesitating opened it and read what was inside. Then after letting 2 large tears drift down the paper, she flew out of the room, hugged Maria from behind as she headed for the bathroom. Buried her face into her daughter's back and cried, "Oh my god, oh my god, please don't." Oh. God, it feels like someone's kicking me in the chest. Ugh. Then realizing that she was the one who should be apologizing, she apologized. Why is Mama apologizing? There's no answer to that question.
ほら、もう仲直り。あんなのママとマリアの仲良しの前には全然気にすることないんだよ。
This episode's gonna fucking break me. Oh, that's gonna have character development for myself at this rate. That's what this chapter's really focused on. No, character development for no one else, just me.
私にはマリアお姉ちゃんの幸せが辛すぎる。
エンジェの気持ちも一応は理解するよ。マリアだってこの力に気づくまでは今のエンジェと同じで不幸なかけらしか見つけられない気の毒な子だったから。
Oh, God.
その力って何？私になくてお姉ちゃんにはある。
A positive outlook, you mean?
そしてそれがないから私は不幸でお姉ちゃんは幸福だというの？
No, it's just something you develop over time. It's just how you view the world.
力という抽象的な表現でしか理解できないそれは一体どんな力なの？
It's all perception.
うん。エンジェはそれが知りたいんだよね。だから私の物語をここまで読み進めてきたんだもんね。もちろんだよ。教えてあげる。この力の秘密を忘れちゃってる？大丈夫。思い出せるよ。今から私が彼女が教えてあげる。
彼女？って誰？
わらわがそれをマリアに代わって教えよう。
God damn it.
ベアトリーチェ。
Get out of here. I don't need you here.
マリアにはあってそなたにはない力。
マリアにあってエンジにない力。
It's magic. Beato and Maria and Beato said it together. And then they started giggling because they'd said it at the same time. It was an innocent reaction, one that didn't seem like Beato at all. Black tea was arranged on a table in a peaceful garden. And Beato, Maria, and Sakutarou, who was sitting on Maria's lap, were having a fun chat.
ほう、そうか。サク太郎と申すか。そなたの一番の友人となる。
ウリュウ、はじめまして、サク太郎と申します。おう、サク太郎は人見知りするから緊張してるの。大丈夫だよ。ベアトリーチェもマリアの素敵なお友達なんだよ。ウリュウ、マリアの友達は僕の友達？うん。ウリュウ、じゃあ僕もベアトリーチェの友達？うん。ウリュウ。
マリアにとってはこのようなことは日常においてよくあることなのか。
お？何が？
このように無機物に魔法の魂を込め生を宿らせることはそなたの日常においては左半時なのか。
おお、サク太郎は無機物じゃないよ。ライオンの子だよ。うりゅう。
ぬいぐるみは故に毒を持たぬ無垢な子供が話しかけることによってそれに応えようとする精霊が宿ることは少なくない。
According to Beatrice, every time a child plays with dolls, the dolls actually gain a will and converse with them, sometimes even moving by their own will. However, because of their innocence, the power imbued in such a vessel is very weak. If they get struck with even a tiny bit of toxin from a human's common sense, which says that there's no way a doll can talk or move, they instantly revert to being non-speaking dolls.
しかしそなたのそのサク太郎というぬいぐるみたち。
サク太郎はぬいぐるみだけどぬいぐるみじゃない。ウリュウ、ライオンの子。ウリュウ。サク太郎はライオンの子だけどまだ子供だから時々ガオーって言えないの。ウリュウリュウリュウ。ウリュウリュウリュウ。
Gazing at Maria, who was playing around with Sakutarou by the table loaded with tea, Beatrice let out a sigh of admiration.
なんということか。サク太郎とやらはその布地と綿のよりしろを書く完全に人間界に権限している。自らの人格をしかも自らの意志で動いている。しかもさらに驚くべきはそれが異界の人物を名指しして呼び寄せたものではなくマリオはゼロの海から生み出したものという。
After that, Maria boasted to Beato that Sakutarou wasn't her only friend and that she had many more of them back at home. It seemed they were other stuffed animals, and dolls who could talk and move on their own like Sakutarou. It was something natural for Maria. It was natural for stuffed animals to talk, move, and become her friends of her own will. When she saw that Maria accepted this as something natural as a witch, Beatrice felt a respect bond bordering on awe.
紛れもなく。
魔法なの？マリアはまだ魔女見習いだから魔法なんて使えないよ。
いいや、魔法だ。それを自覚して使えぬから未だ見習いなのであろうが。そなたの友人サク太郎の権限こそがその立派な証であるぞ。
権限って
そなたの場合は想像と呼んでもよいであろうな。他人の手にあっては何の魂も持たぬ無機物にそなたの魔法によって魂を吹き込まれたのだ。しかもその強力な力が人間界にとどめている。これほどまでに魔法を否定する毒気に満たされた現代において一個の生命体足り得るほどの権限の機能あることはわらわとて容易なことではない。
It isn't hard to give birth to any number of soulless beings. However, giving birth to a being with a soul is very difficult. This would Beato asserted.
ベアトが言うのがよくわかんない。サク太郎がすごいってこと？
サク太郎とそなたが共に素晴らしいということだ。誇ってよい。なるほど。金蔵の最も欲したものはそなたに一番濃く宿っているらしい。
なんでベアトにそんなに褒められるのかさっぱり。ねえサク太郎。
真に驚嘆すべきはぬいぐるみに魂を宿したことだけではないのだ。それにより自己の世界観まで変化させた。そなたは無より有を生じる力が無を抜いている。1を100にすることはたやすい。しかし0から1を生じることはたやすくない。そなたが一人前の魔女になったのはわらわと双璧どころかわらわとて一目置かざるを得ない大魔女に成長するである。
It's a big if because she has to live first.
原始の魔女。そなたの将来はわらわにとっても楽しみだ。
ベアトに魔女の才能あるって褒められた。よかったねマリア。ウリアン、ベアト、マリアを褒めてくれてあり。
礼には及ばぬぞサクタル。その赤いマフラーは実に似合っているぞ。そしてそなたのような友人を生み出せるそなたの主人の才能に嫉妬する。
ウリアン、マフラー褒めてくれてありがとう。これマリアにプレゼントしてもらったの。僕のお気に入り。
まさにそなた専用のマフラーになるために生まれてきたようなサイズであるな。これはわらわも新しき友人に何かプレゼントを送らねばなる
おお、ベアトがサク太郎にプレゼントを。
まい。魔女の贈り物は魔力あるものと決まっている。なるほど。そなたの友人はいつまでもそなたの友人でいられるよう。そしてサク太郎にわらわの魔力を贈る。
Which Sakutarou
それ
now?
によりさらに強く権限することができるだろう。
おお、サク太郎ともっともっと楽しく遊べるようになるの？どうやって？あれ？なんだろうマリア。それって怖いこと？大丈夫だよ。 て何もしないよね、ベアトリーチェ。
必ず気に入ってもらえるはずだ。さて、より強く権限するにはより強いイメージが必要であるな。さてさて、どうしたものか。
Beato crossed her arms and thought about what she could do to please them even more. Make him larger? Then, right there, was the form of yet another witch. It was Beato's teacher, Virgilia. Virgilia truly was a great witch. Since Maria already thought of Beato as a great witch, this person Beato called a great witch must have been a great witch. According to Beato, she still didn't even rise to this witch's feet when it came to magical power.
おやおや、賑やかな声が聞こえてくると思ったら楽しそうなお茶会ですこと。おお、お師匠様、ちょうどいいところへ。このライオンの子を見てほしい。マリアの新しい友人だそうだ。かわいらしいライオンさんですね。ご挨拶はできるのかしら。はじめまして、こんにちは。
ウリュウ、サクタロウと申します。
Sakutarou fell to Maria's lap, greeting Virgilia with half of his face poking out over the edge of the table. It seemed he was very nervous, since this was a witch that even Beato called teacher.
かわいらしい名前だこと。上手な挨拶ができたご褒美にお菓子をあげましょうね。
After waving her hands about, Virgilia held the palm of her hand upwards, and as though she was lightly grabbing at it in the air. Then she held out her fist out in front of Sakutarou. When she opened her fist, there was one of those individually wrapped cough drops.
ウリュウ、飴だよマリア。すごいすごい。
Fucking cough drops. A true old lady.
よかったね、サクタロウ。ちゃんとお礼を言ってね。ウリュウ、飴をどうもありがとうございます。ペコリ。
Even though Virgilia was a great witch, she still treated a stuffed animal like Sakutarou to an elegant greeting.
しかしお師匠様、のど飴とはまたババ臭い。せめていちごミルクのキャンディーとか出ないのかよ。これはひどい。もうあなたには飴をあげませんよ。悪い悪い。さて、マリア、そなたの魔導書を出すのよ。もちろん筆記用具もね。
出すよ。何か書くの？
おや、何を始めるのですか？お師匠様に習った魔法を使うのだ。よりしろに異界の住人を権限させる魔法。あれの応用でこのマリアの友人を権限させる力をより強めることができるのではないかと思ってな。
Okay.
それをマリアとマリアの友人への贈り物。なるほど。常に権限している存在ならそう難しいことではないでしょう。それは素敵な贈り物になりそうですね。では私もささやかですが協力しましょう。お師匠様が立ち会い人にサインしてくれる魔法なら心強い。喜べマリア、これは素晴らしい贈り物になるぞ。
ウリュウ、何が始まるの？怖くない？怖くない？わかんない。でも怖くないと思う。なんだろうね、楽しみだね。
Beato borrowed the grimoire from Maria's handbook and majestically flipped through the pages. Then she found an empty page among those with magic circles drawn on them and flattened it out. After gazing at Sakutarou with a grin, she suddenly started moving her pen. It was something like a written declaration made by witches to a high-order world. It was a magic whose effect could be controlled if Beatrice wrote and Virgilia signed. Maria didn't understand what Beato was writing at first, but partway through she figured out the wonderful magical power of this document and her eyes began to sparkle.
ウリュウ、ウリュウ、どうしたのマリア？何を書いてるの？ウリュウ、ウリュウ。
Sakutarou, who was on her lap, so he didn't know what was being written on the table. But even if he had seen Sakutarou, probably wouldn't have understood.
すごいよサク太郎。待ってて、もうすぐだよ、もうすぐだよ。ベアトすごい、ベアトすごい。
力ある書面の筆記においてこの子の才能は素晴らしい。あなたになら魔界の書記官すら務まりそうですね。
What the fuck?
これでどうか。まずまずであろう。
After finishing her writing with an intense amount of concentration, Beato looked over the document again and from a distance. It seemed she was fairly satisfied with her work. And Maria, who was peeking in at it, let out a cry of wonder.
すごいよベアト。かわいい。
黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェの名においてマリアの子サク太郎をここに認める。お師匠様、立会人にサインを頼むぜ。はいはい。
Who would have thought that Rosa would have become a grandmother in this way?
我が名においてこの先生に立ち会い認めるものなりできましたよ。
Virgilia signed, completing the written declaration. It was a document that had the power to proclaim to the beings of a higher world that Sakutarou had certainly materialized in the human world. Sakutarou, who had been born from Maria, was nominated by the two witches, Beatrice and Virgilia, and just now its existence had been acknowledged by the higher world. And itself was the great magic of mere materialization. According to Beato, it was apparently quite fortunate that Virgilia was there. After all, depending on the number and quality of witches that signed proclamations to the higher world, the power that resided in them would change drastically. Virgilia in particular had many friends in that higher plane. She's got an in. So her signature gave the proclamation a power with which Beatrice couldn't even compare.
この宣言書により汝サク太郎を自我ある一個人と認める。そしてその存在をマリアージュ・ソルシエールの条約に従い友人。今よりサク太郎は我ら共通の友人だ。それにふさわしき姿を贈り物としてそなたに贈ろう。受け取るがよい。
With the grimoire still open to the page with the proclamation, she turned it around and handed it to Maria. Maria showed it to Sakutarou on her lap. When Sakutarou beheld that proclamation, he felt something hot and bright begin to dwell in his body made of cloth and cotton. Even as he looked down, nervous at the sensation he had never felt before, that power strengthened. And eventually a bright light completely swallowed him up.
うりゅうりゅうりゅうりゅうりゅう。
What the hell? What? Oh my god. Stop. Then when that light disappeared, there Maria's friend Sakutarou held a new form and existed.
かわいいよサク太郎。すっごいかわいいよ。うりゅううりゅう。
Oh my god.
本当に似合ってる？恥ずかしくない？
とても可愛らしい姿ですよ、サク太郎ちゃん。マフラーがチャームポイントだと思ってな。あとは耳だ。獣耳はいいぞ。あとでわらわにもかじらせよ。
ありがとうベアトリーチェ。素敵なプレゼントを本当にありがとう。
Good god.